right, so hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about what I'm teaching this week with first grade. This is going to be 4 lessons because I see the same class for the whole week. So this is kind of the equivalent to a normal people's schedule for a month with like a week 1, a week 2, week 3, and week 4 activities. So we're gonna pop in. I have not met my first graders until this year. We don't have kindergarten at my school, so first grade is brand new to me. Meeting them for the first time over Zoom because that's really fun. This week we're really just trying to kind of get to know each other, have some fun. I like to really try to build those like positive relationships and just connections with the students at the beginning of the school year so that you are really knowing the kids and they are, you know, kind of getting used to me and wanting to do stuff with me. All right, so with my first graders, the first day they come to Zoom and we are, you know, just doing all the first day things, figuring out who they are. I will say it's kind of helpful having their names on the screen so I know who everyone is because they're the only kids that I haven't met yet. And so that's really helpful. But then pretty much as soon as they get in, I, you know, introduce myself, just say, hi, my name's Miss Davis, I teach music. And then I always start with, so in music class, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Does anybody like to sing? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, great, because we're gonna do some singing. Does anyone like to like dance? Oh yeah, I'm like, oh great, because we're gonna do some dancing, and just kind of like throw out lots of different things they're gonna do and they're always like so excited. And then I have them stand up and we sing our first song. And so our first song is Well We Walk. This is a super easy one and I love it for the beginning of the year because they can participate immediately. So the song goes, well, we walk and we walk and we walk and we stop. And they have to freeze. We walk and we walk and we walk and we stop. We walk and we walk and we walk and we stop. We walk and we walk and we walk and we stop. So we go through that and then I change the action. So we'll do, well, we hop and then we spin and then we jump and then we wiggle and then we dance. And we just do like all the different things. And it's so good for the little people at the beginning of the year because again, they can participate immediately and also it gets their wiggles out. And also they just think it's so much fun, which is an added bonus. So that's super fun. It's super, super easy. When they sit down, we go through our welcome song. So I sang this to you last week, but I just teach it to them the first time. And it is an echo song that I got from Miss Wonderly Makes Music. I'm not 100% sure where she got it from. Echo. This is exactly what it's like teaching in my class. So we go through the words and then we sing it and it goes, welcome to music, welcome to music. Glad you're here, glad you're here. We're gonna do some singing, we're gonna do some singing. We're gonna use our ears, we're gonna use our ears. We're gonna have a lot of fun, cause music time has just begun. Welcome to music, welcome to music. Glad you're here, glad you're here. So we go over that. I usually just teach them the first call and response and we talk a few times, or at least I assume they're talking because I can't actually hear them because we're on Zoom. So we talk the first few times and then we sing it and then I sing it with my ukulele, which is like super exciting, like, oh, an instrument. So we talk about how many strings it has, what it looks like, those kind of fun things. After that, we go through the same rules that we have every week. And so those are follow directions, be respectful, be responsible, and be a participant. And then we go over the little rules for Zoom. I don't know why it's being funky. Okay, rules for Zoom, and we just talk about like being on time and making sure we're respectful, which for me, a big thing with the first graders about being respectful is not picking up their computer and moving it and like moving it all around because that makes me like seasick. Oh good, now my dogs are gonna bark. So we talk about keeping your video on if you can, and I always say if you can, and I give them the example, if something in your background is not good, go ahead and turn your camera off. Like if your brother or sister is, you know, running around driving you crazy, turn your camera off. That way they know, like, you know, if something happens, that's okay because you just never know. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And then we listen to the song Summer, the piece Summer from Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and keep the steady beat just all over our bodies. And I just say, watch me. And so we keep it on our shoulders and on our head and just all those things. And that is pretty much it. I only have 30-minute lessons right now, which is very short, especially for first grade, because they're still having a hard time navigating the computers, so they usually are not on time, which is why we do a Go Noodle video at the very beginning of every class, because it takes a long time for us to get in there. All right, Tuesday, so that was today's lesson. The students come, we do our stretches like we do every day. We review our welcome song and sing that. We go over Will We Walk again, and this time I let them pick some of the actions. So I usually pick the first couple, and then I'll say, who has an idea of a movement we could do with our body that they want to share with us that we could all do? And so they always love to pick things like, can we run? Sure, we can run, or we can snap, or just, you know, they get so excited when they get to pick. So, and a little hack, if your kids are having a hard time like figuring out the mute button, just say, show me an action and I will pick one. Or you can say like, so-and-so, show me an action, and then you can do it that way. And that sometimes works easier. My first graders this week are pretty good about figuring out the mute button, but I've had some in the past that like, they could not figure out, even when I ask them to unmute, nope. All right, so we go through Will We Walk, and then we go through our 4 voices. Now we are doing something called mirror words this year. I've never done this before, but I'm taking the Whole Brain Teaching course, which is a free course, so I will link that in the YouTube video once it goes up, which will be by tomorrow at the latest. And so I'm taking the Whole Brain Teaching course, and this is something that they talk about. And I always have kids put actions with things and repeat after me anyway, so it's like a really natural extension of my class. So for mirror words, what you do is you say mirrors up, and the kids also say mirrors up, and they put their mirrors up, and then they are a mirror of you. So everything you say, they say, and everything you do, they do. And you're supposed to use this for vocabulary words to like get really specific things, and it's very helpful. So I show them a little picture of a mirror, and we go through mirrors up. Yes. All right, so I show them a little picture of a mirror, and we talk about what a mirror is, and we learn how to do mirror words. And then I show them this picture of animals. I typically do a 4 voices lesson with puppets, but I forgot to bring any of my puppets home. So instead we're doing pictures. So our super fun mirror words activity to learn our 4 voices are, I say mirrors up, they say mirrors up, they're just echoing everything I say, and we go, I have 4 voices. I can talk like a cat. Side note, I picked cat because it's not super loud and not super quiet, and I explain that later. I can yell like a lion. I can whisper like a bunny. And I can sing like an owl. Mirrors away. And so that's exactly how I do it with the kiddos, and they just repeat each of those things. And then I talk to them a little bit about why we have each of those. So I tell them, you know, yeah, so we can use our talking voice. That's what I'm using right now. This is our talking voice. It's not super loud, not super quiet, kind of like a cat. Cats aren't super loud, they're not super quiet. And then we go through our yelling voice and talk about what that is, and what our whisper voice is, and how we always have to whisper because the bunny has really big ears. So if you talk too loud, it'll hurt its ears, and we don't want to hurt those ideas. We don't want to hurt the bunny's ears, so we don't want to talk too loud. So we go through that, and I have like all the little actions for each one, and then I tell them, we also, oh, side note, do you consider thinking voice or audiation as one of the voices? So do you tell them they have 5 voices, or do you tell them they have 4? Because I haven't quite decided what I like. So then we talk about thinking voice and how that's when you think in your brain and nobody hears it. And then we go through this song, You Gotta Sing. So this is a super, super fun one. And it goes, you gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you gotta sing right along. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. And so while we do that, we do the hand sign for sing. This is the sign language for sing. And so then we go through each of the different voices like that. And so we'll do, you gotta sing, you gotta shout. I don't actually let them shout, but I like them do it a little bit louder, and we do our shouting. And then you gotta whisper when the Spirit says whisper. And talking voice is really great because you can really hear the contrast when it's like, you gotta talk when the Spirit says talk. And it's just really funny. And I really like having them do a thinking voice. So I'm like, all right, now we're gonna do our thinking voice. So you can't say anything, you just gotta think it. And I make like the words really big with my mouth. And I'm like, So after we go through that, then we play like this little YouTube video, which will be linked in the YouTube video associated with this video, which will go up tonight or tomorrow morning at the very latest. And it just has this song, and it has more of like the traditional words. So they're not all like the 4 voices, but it goes through like you gotta shake and different things like that. But it does have shout and sing, which is what made me think about doing all this. And they really seem to like this song, so that's really fun too. And we do all our hand signs. On Wednesdays we have e-learning Wednesdays, so I don't see them on Wednesdays. So tomorrow I will not see my kiddos. And then on Thursday, when we come back, we warm up with that same song we did at the end on Tuesday. I like to, you know, have them go a few days so they really get to learn it. So we go through You Gotta Sing When the Spirit Says Sing, and then we use our listening voice. And what we do is we learn a little bit about the weather. So first grade is learning about weather, which is why I like to do this. And so we talk about what the different kinds of weather are, and I showed them this slide with just, you know, like clouds and sun and snow and just all the things. And then I have them go grab a piece of paper and something to draw with. I tell them it could be a crayon, it could be a pencil, it could be a pen, I don't care. And I don't think I've had any of them who couldn't find anything to write with. They usually have something to write with. So, and if they really tell me they don't have anything, I was prepared to tell them just to think their ideas. And so I play these videos from YouTube, and they're just like ambiance videos, and they have to draw what they guess it is. And I told them, you know, it's all gonna be weather, so it might be like rain, it might be thunder, it might be wind, it might be stormy, it might be, you know, just all the different things. And so I just play. Yeah, so I have 4 of those, but I only do 3 because 2 of them were very, very similar. So we do the rain one, and then winter storm, so that one's supposed to be like wind, and then thunder and lightning, so like storm, wind, rain, all of those things kind of combined. And I just have them draw a picture of what they think that it's gonna be, and then at the end I have someone guess and tell me what they think it is. And that's just a really fun way to kind of warm up, because then we get into the song Rain, Rain, Go Away. So then I'm like, awesome, I'm gonna sing this song. It's about weather, it's about the rain. And if you know this song, give me a thumbs up, and if you don't, give me a thumbs down. So I just sing through. Rain, rain, go away, come back in another day. Little Johnny wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. And usually they know it, but if they don't, that's okay. And so we do kind of go back and forth a little bit to make sure that they know it. And then what we do is we sing through and we keep the steady beat a couple of times. And then I change out the name. So instead of Johnny every time, I will pick a kid's name, and whoever I pick gets to pick the action that we do on the next section. So if I say, little Jay Sean wants to play, then Jay Sean would pick the place we're gonna keep the steady beat the next time. So he gets to pick, you know, oh, I wanna put it on my head. Awesome. So we keep it on our head, and I pick another kid and put that name in. And it's just a really easy way to do the same song over and over again, so they really know it and get that steady beat practice, but also have them having a little more fun, having some ownership, and just being more excited about it. So we go through that. If we have time, we also learn the song Mr. Sun, but honestly we have not been having time, so that's fine. And then Friday, the last day, we start with the song Oliver Twist. I love this just as like a simple little movement activity for first grade. So it goes, Oliver Twist, you can't do this, so what's the use of trying? Touch your knees, touch your toes, clap your hands, and around you go. So on the second part, obviously, you touch your knees, you touch your toes, you clap your hands, and then you spin around, which is just, you know, so much fun for first grade. And so at the beginning, the first couple times we just sing through it, and then we start doing different actions. So every time you sing, Oliver Twist, you can't do this, so what's the use of trying? We do a different action. So we might like tap the steady beat, we might spin around in circles, we might hop, we might run, we might do just all the different things. And then the second part is always the same. Touch your knees, touch your toes, clap your hands, and around you go. And it's really fun and easy. If we have time, then I also have them choose some of the actions that we do, because that just always makes all of life so much more fun. And then I didn't make a slide for this, which is funny because I've been doing this lesson 4 times. And then we go through Rain, Rain, Go Away again, and then we learn a new song that is also about rain. It's called Que Llueva in Spanish. This time we're learning it in English, and then next time they come to me, we'll learn it in Spanish because I find that a little easier for the little people to kind of break that up so they'll already know the melody when they have to learn the Spanish words. And so it goes, I'll show you the actions as well. So we sing it and do the actions. Usually I sing and I just tell them, follow my hands, do whatever my hands do. And it goes like this. It's raining, the frog is in his cottage, the little birds are singing, the silver moon is rising, yes, yes, no, no, the falling rain is here. So we go through that a few times to kind of get the actions, and then I tell them we're gonna keep the steady beat. But to make it more fun, we want to find something that's gonna sound like rain since we're doing rain songs. And so I pull out my egg shaker and show them, you know, this kind of sounds like rain. I'm like, but you probably don't have an egg shaker at home. So go find something that makes noise when you shake it that's not gonna break. And I give them some examples. You know, you could use a cereal box, or you could use, I don't have like any of those things. I'm like, you can use a cereal box, you can use like a crayon box or a pencil box, you could use like a can of nuts, or, you know, just anything. I've even had kids with like water bottles. That's fine. That totally works. And so we play the rhythm while we sing, just, it's raining, the frog is in his cottage. And then, this is where it gets the most fun. We do some improvising. I'm like, cool. So now what I want you to do is take your instrument, because most of them are like, take your instrument, and we're going to take the words rain and pouring, and we're gonna put them in different orders. And so I'll have them echo after me a couple times. So we'll do like rain, pouring, pouring, rain, and then they'll do that. Pouring, 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 and they'll do that. And then I tell them, you can pick whatever one you want. So you can do a pattern we did, you can make up your own, it doesn't matter, you can do whatever you want. And so we go through that a few times, and I just go like, one, make a pattern, here you go. Rain, pouring, pouring, rain. Make a new pattern, here we go, and have them do that a few times. And then we go back and forth. So we'll sing the song, and then we'll improvise, and we'll sing the song, and we'll improvise. And in between, the way I kind of like make that all happen in a nice pretty fashion is we'll sing the song, and it'll be like, the falling rain is here, make your pattern, here you go. Rain, pouring, pouring, rain. Make a new pattern, here we go. Pouring, pouring, rain, rain. Back to our song. And then we go straight back into the song. Easy, easy peasy, super, super fun. And like I said, next time they come to me, we're gonna learn the words in Spanish, and I usually do it in Spanish, and then we'll use the words rain and llueva, which is rain in Spanish, and that works really, really well. So this is my master plan, and that usually takes up the rest of the time because they just think it is so much fun to play their cereal box instruments, and so that entertains for a very long time. And then we end with Friday freeze dance, because freeze dance is what we're doing every Friday for now until we get back to school, if we ever get back to school. We will get back to school. Tomorrow is when the board is meeting. I think I said that last week. They met last week, and then they decided to meet this week to decide on what's gonna happen. So I don't know when we're going back to school, but I will let you know when that happens. Oh, and one last thing, I did want to share my goodbye song with first grade. So with first and second, and my third graders have been asking for it, so I've been doing it with them anyway. I sing a goodbye song. It's very simple. It just goes, oh, here we are together, together, together. Oh, here we are together in music today. And instead of the traditional next part, I call all of their names. And this is what we do in school in order to get them lined up in the correct order. So I will call them, you know, down the row, and so they line up when they hear their name. Since we're on Zoom, I just tell them when you hear your name, then you can click the red button that says leave meeting, and they usually wait until the end when I sing, here we are together in music today, and then I'll wave, and they're like, bye, 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 and then occasionally they're like, Miss Davis, do you want to see my headbands? I'm like, sure. Because that's where we are online. That's actually why I'm wearing a headband today, because one of my kids yesterday was like, do you want to see my headbands? And she brought me like 5 headbands, and she was like, this is my sparkly kitty cat headband, and this is my cheetah print kitty cat headband. And I was like, cool. I'm gonna wear my headband tomorrow. She was very excited to see my headband today. So anyway, that is all that I'm teaching with first grade. Next week I start a new set of lessons, so that's kind of exciting, kind of terrifying. I have a lot to do between now and next week to get everything prepped, but I will take your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down here while I finish out my spiel. So this is gonna happen every week on Tuesday at 5:30 on Instagram. The replay is available on Instagram and also on YouTube with all of the links. So if you want any links to anything I talked about, click on the YouTube video. The link's in my bio. It'll be up by tonight or tomorrow morning at the very latest. And come back next week for the next grade. I might skip 5th grade because I'm not sure how my 5th grade lessons are gonna go yet. I wanna like test them out before I recommend them to you because they're all new. So I haven't decided what we're doing next week, but I am excited to come and hang out with you guys even more. So if you have any questions, leave them here. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.